I'm JP Tuesday.
And I'm Kiki Cannon. As lifelong Disney fans, the work of countless talented Disney creatives have shaped our lives.
Now, as the Disney catalog expands, we're taking a journey through film and television to discover if that spark that shaped us as children lives on in adulthood.
Does your favorite Disney media still cast that same spell? Join us as we find out. We are Rewatching the Magic.
Hi, Kiki.
Hi, Tuesday.
It is still the spooky season, and we are returning to the world of the Disney Channel original movie to talk about a story about a young teenage kid who finds out that they're secretly infused with magical powers and has to go to a special place and save everyone from an evil wizard. Only this one isn't written by someone problematic.
I mean, that we know of as of time of recording.
We are talking about the Disney Channel original movie, Halloweentown. I have heard of this movie. I know that there are several Halloweentown movies, but I've never seen it. Again, it was just one of those, by the time the Disney Channel original movies had really gotten off the ground, I had kind of aged out of the audience for these kind of movies. This was 1999. So yeah, I've already aged out of these films. And as we have mentioned on the podcast previously, Kiki, this is before you had the Disney Channel.
Yeah, I mean, it might have been right about the time that it went from premium channel in my area to basic cable in my area. I can't remember exactly when that crossover happened, but like you, we're the same age, so this was the point where I was kind of aging out of this. This is a film for like preteens at the oldest. I'd say this is like the 7 to 12 age group, maybe.
Yeah.
So we were definitely past that age group when this premiered. But we kind of wanted to see it because it has Debbie Reynolds in it, and who doesn't like Debbie Reynolds?
Yep, the legend Debbie Reynolds, the late great Debbie Reynolds.
I miss her so much.
Yeah. The thing is, because this was a Disney Channel original movie, and like you said, that 7 to 12 age group watching this, there is an entire generation who only knows Debbie Reynolds from the Halloweentown movies.
I'm not going to be mad at you if this is what you know her for, but if this is all you know her for, please go look up the rest of her body of work, because just so much good stuff in there.
Singing in the Rain.
Every time she appeared on Will and Grace.
Unsinkable Molly Brown.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just basically anything with her in it. Even if the movie's not good, she's going to be good in it.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, you're looking at a legend here. Also, I think both of us missed it while watching the movie, but the mom in this movie is April O'Neil from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, the 1990 movie.
Yeah, the first one, Judith Hogg, who played April in that first movie. She plays the mom in this movie, and I did not recognize her.
Yeah, neither of us recognized her, and we were kind of like, something about the name or whatever, and looked it up, and it was like, oh.
Yeah, I think it's the hair, because she doesn't have that early 90s perm style hair that she had in that first movie. You can buy an action figure of of April O'Neil from the first movie. So if you ever wanted your Gwen Piper action figure, you could probably buy it from NECA at your local Target.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is like the fourth Disney Channel original movie. So like this is very early into the Disney Channel original movies lineage. Their second Halloween movie, the first being the original Under Wraps. And I believe this is the first one to become the franchise. To become a franchise. This and Xenon, which would be the next movie after this. Which we have covered.
Yeah, go back and listen to our Xenon episode if you missed it. But yeah, this one would end up getting 3 sequels. Halloweentown 2, Halloweentown High, and Return to Halloweentown.
Kimberly J. Brown, who plays Marnie Piper in this movie, would star in 3 of the 4 films. And that's kind of what she's known for. She kind of made some news last year in the DCOM community as she announced that she had gotten married in her Halloweentown 2 co-star Daniel Kuntz. And they kind of announced it by reenacting one of their scenes together on TikTok. So, yeah. Again, if you're into the Halloweentown movies, if you're a DCOM super fan, happy for you. So let's kind of get into this movie. As I mentioned, the main plot of this movie is we have Marmee, who has just turned 13, and as we've talked about in other young teenager-centric movies, they're 13, they're practically an adult, they can make their own decisions for themselves. Oh, we were really stupid when we were 13, weren't we, to have that kind of delusion?
Well, what's so funny is it's kind of funny watching this as an adult, because I'm sure if I'd have watched this as a 13-year-old, you know, if I had been of that age when this came out, I would have been like, yeah, you tell him, Marnie, you're an adult, you're a teenager now, you know, and all, but watching this in my 40s, I'm like, child, I do not even feel like an adult now. What are you talking about?
I mean, it's like watching The Little Mermaid again. When you're a kid and she says, Dad, I'm 16 years old. I can decide things for myself. You go, yeah, Ariel, you can do it. Coming back to it as an adult, Ariel, you are a child. Listen to your father.
You have never even met this man. You have seen him from a distance. You don't know anything about him or what he is like. Yeah.
Go back to our Little Mermaid episode. It was our very first episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have Marmee here, and she wants to go out on Halloween with her friends. And for her entire life, her mother has told her that, no, you are not going out on Halloween. We don't celebrate Halloween in this house. And that is final, young lady.
The thing is that watching this, I was like, this just sounds like a fundy mom.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of see that nowadays with a lot of those kind of parents on social media. We don't celebrate Halloween. It's the devil's work. We don't do anything. We don't let the devil into this house.
Well, I mean, think of when I grew up, and granted, my house was not like that. Like, I celebrated Halloween, like, to a point, you know?
I mean, you did grow up in a very religious household.
Yeah, but, like, I definitely knew kids whose parents, like, took it all the way. Like, you do not dress up for Halloween, you do not, you know, and, like, the churches I went to would do like alternative stuff for Halloween so that kids wouldn't go out and be a part of deviltry, on the go watch the King of the Hill episode about the woman that comes to town and tries to take away Halloween from the town. That's the sort of thing I'm talking about. And where I live, it's still very common for churches to host alternate Halloween things so that religious kids have a safe place to go, where kids can go have candy and a thing to do, but they're not wandering the streets in demonic costumes and stuff, So what's so funny is that I was watching this for the episode, because this was a first watch for me, and when I'm watching it, and all not knowing anything about this movie, I'm like, I know that this isn't going to be a reveal that they're like fundamentalists or whatever, but you could have that be the reveal at this point in the movie.
The big reveal is that they descend from witches. We have Grandma Aggie, Debbie Reynolds herself, who has come from Halloweentown. She can only come once a year on Halloween. You can only travel between the magical world and the mortal world on Halloween. So every Halloween, she comes from the magic world of Halloweentown to the mortal realm to visit her family. And there is issues between mother and daughter, as Grandma wants to teach the kids magic. It is their birthright. They should know, especially young Marmee, who at 13 should be at the height of her powers. And if she does not start training by the end of her 13th year, she could be at risk of losing all of her magical abilities. To which Mommy Gwen says, good, that way she could be a normal human person, and we can be a normal human family. I left Halloweentown and married a normal human man for that reason. Dead dad, because it's a Disney movie.
Yeah, somebody's gotta be dead. We don't really know what happened to the dad. Just, something.
It's a very unique take, and arguably, and I can say arguably, a more realistic take on the we are hiding our magical past from our child trope. I mean, the wizarding world did not invent that trope. It has been something that has existed in fiction forever. Years before this, Sabrina the Teenage Witch made that a plot point in its first episode.
Well, and I mean, excuse me, Bewitched.
Yes.
The thing is, though, is that I kind of like the setup to Halloweentown. That there was a time when all of the magical creatures in Halloweentown used to just live in the same world as the humans. And the story seems to go that the humans became afraid of the magical creatures, and that turned the magical creatures kind of mean because they were reacting to the vitriol that they got from the humans.
It's their way of trying to incorporate the witch trials into this universe. And, They even say that the traditions of Halloween started from the magical creatures and human see, human do. So
Yeah.
every tradition of Halloween was, uh, you know, was culturally appropriated from the magical world.
Yeah. I like that the magical creatures did not like that they were turning mean
They
in
just want to live.
response,
Yeah, they just want to live like anyone else.
so that they then decided, like, we would rather live separately and be our authentic selves, I guess, rather than try to live in this world that is turning us into these things we don't like. And so they created Halloweentown to get away from the prejudice of humans. But the issue is that now they can only come back to the mortal world once a year. But the thing is that it then says that Gwen, the mom, came to a Halloween party among mortals one year and met a human man and fell in love and decided to stay in the mortal world and marry him. And she has now decided that all of their children will just be raised human, even though they're half witch and could go to Halloweentown and learn magic and all that. She has made that decision for them.
And once they find out, they're not too happy about that. Marmee especially, as she's always felt like an outsider. She's a collector of weird things. She has these visions. She even questions why the witch in her Halloweentown book looks like her. So she gathers that she is not having deja vu of the past. She is simply having a premonition of the future. Which, bit of a stretch since it's the baby sister that actually seems to have the power. We have baby sister Sophie, who seems to have gotten powers at a very young age. And because there's that one scene where she wants a cookie before dinner. Mom says no, and she says, I really want a cookie. I really want a cookie. And she is like force summoning cookies to her.
And the mom's like, nope, and snatches it out of the air.
It is possible that Marmee went through a similar phase when she was that age, but we don't see it.
Yeah.
And it's not the first time. Once they actually get to Halloweentown, Sophie also has Joe. She unlocks the gate that they're of Grandma's house just by I wish the lock would turn into a frog, and now it's open, and there's a frog there. So, and she's also the one that is able to remember the magic spell that Grandma came up with for the big spell at the end of the movie. Again, it's possible that Marmee had these similar situations happen to her at that age, but we're never shown that. Not even in flashback, not even in dialogue. But once the kids find out that, yes, we actually came from Halloweentown, that's our lineage, we're going to go there. We're going to follow Grandma to Halloweentown, and we are going to learn our lineage. much to the chagrin of the middle child of this kid trio, Dylan. Dylan is very much a pessimist. He's very much, magic isn't real. It's all make-believe. He tries to make up excuses of what's going on. Maybe these people are in costumes. Maybe this is all a mass hallucination. It's really the dynamic of the dreamer kid. Every kid, every group of siblings, I guess, has to have the one dreamer kid and the one super serious kid to give them a personality. So he does get annoying very quickly in this movie.
Yeah, he's very annoying the way he's written.
And I get what they're trying to do. Again, we are not the audience for this movie. This is a movie intended for very young audiences. So I'm guessing that's supposed to appeal to, he'll learn his lesson by the end of the movie and he'll believe in magic.
He's written as the very, I'm going to be the logical one because my sisters are being weirdos.
So since now Grandma figures out so now we must be trying to get to Halloweentown once Grandma figures out what's going on. Says we need to get you back, but we have time because apparently time moves differently in Halloweentown than it does in the mortal realm. Since they left home in the middle of the night to go get on the bus to Halloweentown, in real world time, it would be about 2 hours until Halloween ends at midnight. But 2 hours mortal world time is a full day in Halloweentown time.
I think they say 2 days, maybe? Or 2 weeks if you're on vacation, which they never explain.
I think that's just a joke. Not really a funny one, but it's supposed to be a joke, I think. So they get to spend more time in Halloweentown learning about their lineage and learning about magic from their grandmother. But Grandma did not merely go to the mortal world on a social visit. She wants her daughter to come back to Halloweentown with her because something's wrong in Halloweentown. As much like Kiki said before, the good magical creatures of Halloweentown are turning bad. And like Kiki said earlier, that the last time that happened was because of a negative influence of the human's own fear. So something similar to that is happening in Halloweentown, and she needs the power of another witch to figure out what's causing all of the good magical creatures to go bad.
And then disappear.
Yes.
She says they're turning mean and then they're disappearing.
And now that she has her grandchildren with her, she believes that there is enough magical energy within the bloodline so she can actually do this thing and figure out what's going on in Halloweentown and get to the bottom of all of this mystery.
But first, when the kids get to Halloweentown, they meet the mayor. Mayor, I am definitely the bad guy.
Yep.
I'm not spoiling it for anybody because if you have more than 2 brain cells in your head and you are watching this movie for the first time, this guy is definitely the bad guy.
He comes off way too nice at the beginning of this movie. It's like, hi, I am the mayor and I am a part-time wizard. Hello, little
Warlock.
girl. I am a part-time warlock. Hello, little girl. Would you like some candy?
Yeah, it's really creepy how he tries to give her candy.
Oh, you're Cornwall children, huh? Huh. Interesting. Why are there Cornwall children in Halloweentown? I mean, I am the nice mayor of the city. But yeah, we can just skip on all through all of that. Yeah, he's the bad guy. In fact, he's not just a part-time warlock. He is the most powerful warlock in Halloweentown. And his
Maybe
plan...
he's the only warlock in Halloweentown? I don't know. We never really see another one.
Yeah, we never see any other male magic users in this town.
Or, I mean, Debbie Reynolds says, because when she's like, hey, daughter, you need to come back to Halloweentown with me because I need the power of another witch and everything, the daughter's like, yeah, go get some of the other witches that live in Halloweentown. And Debbie Reynolds is like, yeah, they're not really into it and they don't really want to help. But the thing is like, at the end of the movie when the mayor's like, ha ha ha, it was me all along. I am the evil guy and I am doing evil. And the town is like, oh no, he's the evil guy who is doing evil. Like, none of the other witches step forward and is like, oh yeah, Debbie Reynolds was right. Maybe we should fight back against the evil dude. Like, they just leave it to this one family to do anything. So, like, are there actually any other witches, or did he just take them all out and they're all, like, statues in the movie theater?
Never really said.
I mean, I know the movie wants us to believe, like, only this family can save us because they're special or whatever. I kind of would have liked the power of community or whatever. Like, the family gets together and they're like, we believe, and then the other witches are like, and we believe too, because of that family,
No, they're just going to stand by and do nothing because not my fight. I don't
And
know. It's possible that they were just on the sidelines just to see which side would win, because some of them were kind of into his big villain speech. Like, too long we have hidden away from the mortal world. They have pushed us away from our homes. We need to fight back and get back what is ours.
I want to say, because okay, there's a lot of little other things in this film, and we can come back to them, but I want to get to the big point of this movie,
Mhm.
which is once we find out, like, the mayor's motivation, I was like, okay, you've got to be kidding me, but also I really liked it, because this is a movie made in 1998, and this dude is doing it because he is an incel.
Oh yeah,
That is
yeah.
the dude's entire motivation. Once it gets down to it, his entire motivation was that he used to date the mom, and the mom broke up with him and went to the mortal world to date a human and have children with the human, and she never came back to Halloweentown. And he is so pissed off because he's like, I was the most powerful warlock and you went and dated a human instead, and what has he got that I don't got? I would have been like really nice to you and made you a queen and we could have ruled Halloweentown together, but you didn't want to date me, so now I'm gonna take over Halloweentown and the mortal world and make everybody suffer because you didn't see how awesome I was, and I was a nice guy who would have treated you nice. That is the dude's entire motivation. He is like a freaking incel villain before we had the term for it. I mean, if he was the best Halloweentown had to offer, I can kinda see why she left and was like, yeah, I'm not going back there. We're all gonna be humans. 'Cause normally, uh, I hate these films or stories or whatever where it's like, yeah, there's a magical world out there, and like your parents or grandparents or whatever decided, like, screw the magical world, we're gonna be boring ass humans. And I'm like, seriously? Who would do that? You've seen the human world, right? Like, you live in the human world. Yes? Yes, writer of this story? You are a human who lives in the human world? Why, if there is anything else out there, would you choose this?
Why would the mother want to raise her children human? You could have lived in a world of magic or if nothing else, teach your kids how to use magic.
In the human world.
Yeah.
Because apparently the mom is still able to use magic in the human world. The kids are actually manifesting magic in the human world without knowing what they're doing. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So apparently it's not like they have to be in Halloweentown to learn things.
That's the end of the movie right there, where mom says, "You know what? I'm gonna, your training starts tomorrow," kind of deal.
Yeah, but they all go back to live in the human world and they bring grandma with them. So they're, for at least the next year, they're going to go live in the human world and maybe come back and visit on the next Halloween and, make more decisions then. And we haven't seen the sequels, so, we're just going off of what the first movie presents. We know that the children can be trained in magic in the mortal world. Why is the mom not, there's a running joke in the movie where the mom keeps watching infomercials in the middle of the night, and the infomercial is like, gets rid of stains like magic, say goodbye to your wrinkles like magic, it's like all this stuff, and she's like, no, it doesn't work like magic, it's like, because she knows what magic will do and all. And when Debbie Reynolds comes to visit, she's talking to the mom about preserving food, and she's like, look at you, you're doing everything the difficult way, packing it away in all these little Tupperware bowls and stuff instead of, using magic to, like, actually preserve things.
And then she turns it into a live chicken.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's the best way to do it, but I'm sure there's gotta be some better way.
Yeah, I mean, there's always a better way, and the fact that the mom here just insists on doing it the mortal way just because she wants to raise her kids to be mortal. Grandma got a point. Why are you doing it the difficult way? If she had known of her ex's plan, of Calabar's plan, and that's why she kept the thing secret, I would understand. But that's not what happens. She literally wants to keep magic secret from her children, not even allowing them to partake in human Halloween traditions because reasons.
Well, I think that if I were giving this movie maybe more credit than it deserves, I think maybe the reason is, remember, she met her husband when she came in for a Halloween party. I think she's worried that if the kids go out during Halloween, while they're still capable of learning magic and stuff, that maybe someone from Halloweentown might recognize them, or someone from Halloweentown might slip up and tell them about Halloweentown, and they'd find their way back there. You know?
Yeah, when she finds out her grandma has been telling her kids stories of Halloweentown, she's, Mom, you have to leave.
But also, she's living among humans, and the humans' fear of the magical creatures were what made the magical creatures turn mean in the first place. And she might be afraid that if the kids know magic and the humans find out about it, that the kids will be persecuted and they might turn mean, or they might, that history will replay itself.
Possible, and again, I think you are giving this movie too much credit,
Oh, I think
but
I'm giving this movie too much credit as well.
it's also, like you said, willingly doing things the hard way just to do it that way. When, again, human life is already hard enough as it is. If you have the ability to make it better and you're not, uh. One thing I will give this movie some credit for is some of the monster makeup looks really good. For a TV budget, it's not so bad.
Yeah,
Like
there's some really interesting designs in here.
like some of the zombie characters, some of the monster characters, the werewolves and stuff look really good. But on the flip side of that, the money that goes into the makeup effects seems to take away the prop effects, since the witches' brooms look like they got bought at Target and spray painted.
Which I'm sure they did.
The most impressive thing in this movie is the skeleton cab driver.
Oh yeah, the puppetry on that thing was great.
Yeah. Like, I'm pretty sure the majority of the budget of this movie went into that one character. Because, again, for a TV budget, yes, it's still Disney, but it's still Disney TV budget. That skeleton puppet is so expressive, and the way they have the bones move like skin to show expression, and how the mouth moves, it's like they put a lot of effort into the magical creatures of this movie.
Yeah, I like some of the world building that didn't get really focused on, but it's just kind of that they popped in and out of it a little bit. Like, I like that the dentist is a tooth fairy,
Mhm.
and that he's working on a vampire.
The hairdresser's a werewolf.
The hairdresser is a werewolf. There's all these kind of interesting little things. I also like that the Luke character that we get, that's like the little henchman of the evil mayor,
Mhm.
is sort of also doing it because he's an incel.
Yeah, he's a troll. No, I mean, he's an actual troll. I don't
Like
mean it.
live under a bridge kind of troll, yeah.
Yeah, and he works with Evil Mayor because he wants to look handsome so he can get girls. Because the girls in Halloweentown don't want to date a troll.
Yeah, and he really wants to date Marnie when he sees her. And so, yeah, he's all like, at the end, when he kind of turns back into what he normally looks like, he's like, well, I did it all for nothing because now I'm ugly again and you would never, whatever. And she gives him a kiss on the cheek and all that kind of stuff.
I mean, he does have a bit of a redemption in that final act when he realizes what the real plan was. Like, first off, what did you think the plan was? Because he didn't think, I didn't think we were going to take over the human world. I thought he just wanted to scare your grandma.
I mean, so he's dumb too, but
I wasn't even under a spell. I was evil willingly.
yeah.
Okay, that's one thing. Another thing I don't necessarily like about the movie is that this is a movie made for children. I understand that. So it's not light magic and dark magic. It's good magic and evil magic. And evil magic is more powerful than good magic. So yeah, this kid had a magic spell to make him look handsome. so he can get a girl, specifically this girl that he just met. I feel like, why would you give him a shot after everything that happened? Yes, he helped you at the end, but still, majority of the time he was helping the bad guy.
Yeah. I kind of agree. I mean, you're kind of a putz, dude.
Yeah. There's elements of something great in here, I will say that. A lot of it is bogged down because this is a TV movie meant for very young children. And we talk about this when we do talk about the DCOM, that seems to be the underlying issue, is that there's a good concept here that could be great, but it's bogged down by this is intentionally made for ages 7 to 12, so it can't really go as far as it could go, but also is held down by a TV movie budget.
Yeah, also, the last decom we did was Smart House, which is about a similar length, but I feel like this one felt like it just dragged so much.
Yeah, I will say that and because there's a lot of, for a movie called Halloweentown, for a movie centered on magic and magical creatures, there's so much of this movie where characters are just sitting and talking. And it drags on and on and on. And I get why. I get it. This has a TV movie budget, so you're not going to get the super fantastical magic spells and magic wizard battles that you would get in a blockbuster movie. So you have to compensate that for sitting and talking.
I think the other thing is, you hear like, okay, I'm going to magical town to learn magic from my grandma. And what is it that you think is gonna happen when we get to magical town to learn magic from grandma? Because I know that I'm thinking we're gonna have a montage, right?
Yeah, you would think that. This magical training montage. And no, we don't get that at all.
You know what we get? We get Debbie Reynolds kind of looking at the two girls because the boy later finds out he's a warlock. Spoiler alert. Um, but the two girls we already know have magical powers like very early in the movie. And the grandma is like, "Oh yeah, magic is super duper easy. You just kind of have to like want it really bad." And so, like, the two girls are just like, oh, okay, later on in the movie when they start doing magic on their own and, like, the mom and the grandma are incapacitated by the bad guy, and they're like, we have to do magic on our own. What was it grandma said? Magic is really super easy. You just have to, like, close your eyes and think really hard and just want it.
And we do see that earlier in the movie with the youngest daughter, where she says she wants a cookie, and the cookie is just floating to her. So that does work within the rules that this movie sets up. I don't like that. I don't like how they make magic seem so easy. All you have to do is want it.
What's the Family Guy thing where Brian's like book is called like Want It, Wish It, Do It or something like
Yeah.
that. Like that's the magic in this movie. It's like Want It, Wish It, Do It.
At least the other one had a school you had to go to for all
I
the
mean,
problems that franchise has.
well, the thing is that most most magical systems in stories take something out of you. You know, that they take your life energy, or they take knowledge, or they take some sort of skill. This is like not even wish upon a star, because you don't even need a star, you know? I don't know. It just seems so pathetic. I think that was one of my biggest problems in the film to me, was that I wanted there to be some kind of, some kind of training, some kind of fight that they had to do to learn, some kind of growth they had to do, but there
Something.
really wasn't.
Like, these characters are the same characters at the end of the movie than they are at the beginning of the movie.
Except for the boy, because he's kind of learned to believe in magic.
And even then, he is the most annoying character in this movie.
Oh yeah. Super duper annoying.
So this kid, this boy, the middle brother, has magic for a total of 5 seconds, yet has enough magic for the power of 5 to defeat the most powerful warlock in Halloweentown.
Yeah, they can't do it without him, but as soon as he joins hands with them and just believes in magic.
So much so that this 200-year-old witch, Debbie Reynolds, couldn't do it.
Oh, she's way older than that, because she talks about getting something from King Arthur.
Oh yeah, the MacGuffin of the movie is Merlin's scepter.
Yeah, so she's way older than 200 years.
Well, she's been living in Halloweentown for 200 years.
Yeah. I think that's just when Halloweentown was founded.
So yeah, that's our big MacGuffin of the movie, is Merlin's scepter, or at least part of it, that they need to do the magic spell to stop evil Mayor from doing his evil things. Like I said, with the exception of the boy, every character, like the little baby, I can understand, because she's a kid. She's a little kid. So her not having much of a character or character growth, I get. The most growth, okay, besides the brother, is going to be the mom, where she decides, well, yeah, I was wrong for hiding your magical past from you, and I will train you myself in the ways of magic. It is, and I've talked about this before in what I would, that kid power era of movies where the kids are always right. And when you're a kid watching that, that's awesome, because, hey, she's a kid just like me, and she's the hero, and she's the smartest of them all, yeah. But watching this as an adult, it's annoying that Marmee is correct in every aspect of this movie. Just, I mean, I get she's the main character, and she's the main character of these first 3 movies and all that. I get it, but,
I don't mind if the kid character is correct, so long as there is a reasoning behind it. It's important that kids are taught that adults are not always correct. That it's okay to question adults. And it's okay to trust yourself and your own judgment. It's really well done in something like Tangled.
yeah.
You gotta handle that in a very delicate way, because otherwise it comes across as just, hey kids, don't ever listen to adults about anything ever, which is also the wrong thing to take from it.
Yeah. Again, I get that this movie has fans, and there's a lot of, again, it's going to be kids who grew up with these movies. But to ask the question, and I really hate saying it, for a movie based on magic, Halloweentown does not have the magic.
I mean, it has Debbie Reynolds, and Debbie Reynolds is magical.
I'll agree to that.
But, like, to me, the plot and the overwhelming, everything else, it didn't really have the magic for me. Although, points for making the bad guy an incel before that was really a thing we were talking about.
Yeah, like I said, the best part of this movie is the effects, the
makeup,
the makeup effects, the puppetry effects. Those are awesome. Now, again, for a late 90s TV movie, that's awesome. But
yeah,
not much else.
Yeah. Debbie Reynolds magical, puppetry magical, makeup effects magical, points for the incel plot, but everything else kind of falls flat.
Yeah, I don't know if we will return to Halloweentown anytime soon, but yeah. Again, if these are the best Disney Channel original movies there are, we are in trouble. Programming note. This will be the last family-friendly Halloween movie we do this year. Starting next week, we're going to get into more of the adult horror or adult movies with horror elements. So if you're one of our listeners that like to listen to this with their little ones, and we do know that some of you do, might want to skip the rest of the month, come back in November. So as of next week, we are getting back into the Marvel movies, and this one's going to be fitting because this particular actor recently returned to the role that we're going to be talking about next week, as we're going to be talking about Blade. Wesley Snipes in Blade. Only ever been one Blade, only ever going to be one Blade. If that remake is ever going to happen or not.
Yeah.
So come back next week for Blade. And we will talk to you all next time. Bye.
Bye.
Don't let the magic stop here. Join our conversations on Facebook, Instagram, and Threads at Rewatching the Magic. We are on the X, formerly known as Twitter, at Rewatch the Magic. And new episodes are available every week at rewatchingthemagic.podbean.com. Remember, the magic is for everyone. It only stops if you let it. Podcasts are fun.
But there's work to be done.
We encourage you to get involved. Here are some organizations we support.
The American Civil Liberties Union fights for the constitutional rights of all Americans. Find them at aclu.org.
The National Network of Abortion Funds helps people find access to safe abortion services. Their site is abortionfunds.org.
The Trevor Project provides a 24/7 crisis helpline for LGBTQ youth and education services for schools on LGBTQ issues. They can be found at thetrevorproject.org.
Or find a way to help in your area.